We only have one life to live. We only have one life to live. We only have one life to live. And we gotta live it. Don't even strive on negative vibes. Cause you won't make it, no matter what they say. You should always try to live a positive life anyway. We only have one life to live, and we gotta live it. Don't even strive on negative vibes, cause you won't make it, no matter what they say. We should always try to live a positive life anyway. We all know time is running out every day. The people that we know that life is not a game that we play. If you're not sure about this test, I want the whole world to confess that we all should try to live our life the best way that we can. So I know we only have one life to live, and we gotta live it. Don't even strive on negative vibes, cause you won't make it, no matter what they say. You should always try to live a positive life anyway. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We only have one life to live, and we gotta live it. Don't even strive on negative vibes, cause you won't make it, no matter what they say. You should always try to live a positive life anyway. We all know time is running out every day. The people that we know that life is not a game that we play. If you're not sure about this test, I want the whole world to confess that we all should try to live our life the best way that we can. So I know we only have one life to live, and we gotta live it. Don't even strive on negative vibes, cause you won't make it, no matter what they say. You should always try to live a positive life. Try to live a positive life. Try to live a positive life anyway. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We only have one life to live, and we gotta live it. Don't even strive on negative vibes, cause you won't make it, no matter what they say. You should always try to live a positive life. Yes, greetings, one and all, and love to our ancestors and our Creator in all that we do. I want to thank each and every one of you for participating and being a part of the journey, of course. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Oh yeah, you know. And I am here and I'm enjoying life as we should enjoy life. And enough respect to all those that are out there enjoying life. Also, enough respect to all of you that are tuning in. We got a special show for you today. And of course, it's called Self Preservation. Oh, yes, with Kyoshi, martial arts master Kyoshi Khaleeq A. Lewis. We're going to be having him on at 9 o'clock exactly. And it is now 46 minutes after the top of the hour, approximately 14 minutes before the top of the hour, before 9 o'clock in New York City on the East Coast, and before 8 o'clock on the West, in Central. And of course, Pacific time is approximately 7 it'll be 7 o'clock and the top of the hour. Want to thank each and every one of you. Want to thank all of my sponsors and all of the great people that's tuning in, even on Facebook and on YouTube. How you doing? What's up? Want to make sure everybody's all right, and just wanted to shout out whoever's online. Thank y'all very much for participating online. Big up to the Jersey from Phoenix, but via New Jersey. Big up to the Jersey crew. Michigan is in the building. What's up, Michigan? How you feeling today, Michigan? All right, good, good, good. I'm glad to see you. Where else you calling from? Where are y'all at? Where are you located? I don't care where you're coming from, which part you're at. This is going to be a good show because, like I said, this is about self-preservation, self-defense, protecting yourself, the art of war, of understanding that fighting is a mental thing. And this is one of my teachers, amongst the many teachers that I've gone through and that I've studied under, whether it was physical or whether it's verbal or whether it's just the philosophy. This brother here is an extraordinary brother that has been doing his work, and we will read his bio before we start every. So big up to Harlem. Harlem is in the building. I was just on Happy Films on YouTube, and Brother Kaba's on, and he's about to finish right now. So everybody from Hoppy should be coming over here. And Brother Florida's in the building. What's up, Florida? Yeah, I'm looking for a place in Florida, but you know how it is. I'm looking for a place in Florida because I need the heat. We are people of the sun, and I need to be in the sun constantly. All right, it's 48 minutes after the hour right here on WKSP on YouTube. King Simon Presents on YouTube. Let me pick up some of the sponsors that I got coming in. Of course, let me start with one of the let's start with the people that's coming up next. Let's start with that. Let's start with the people that's coming up next so we'll know and we're going to enjoy ourselves. Look, next on King Simon Presents, June the 21st, we got Miss Veronica Martin, financial advisor and, of course, medical massage therapist. She's going to drop that wisdom about the finance and what you should do with it, how to invest, how to do all different types of things with your finance so you can make more finance. On June 24th, another TBA, because we were supposed to have something today, but I had to go with my original plan to deal with a martial artist, bring him on, but we was going to have a Baba on, but we couldn't make that happen. On Sunday, June the 28th, we got Nusku Saunders, the millennial Jedna. That's right. Motivational speaker, entrepreneur. He'll be in the building on June the 28th. Very proud of him. On Wednesday, July the 1st, Master Yao Morris will be in the building. He is the author of two very profound books, The Awakening of the Master Feminine and Awakening of the Master Masculine. So we're going to be having him on July the 1st. That's July the 1st. That's Wednesday, July the 1st. And on Sunday, July the 5th, we got Aquarius Maxim. Beautiful sister Aquarius Maximus will be here. You know, she's the owner of the Guap Coin, and she has her own website. She does, I shout her out numerous times. She also does cardology. So we're going to go through all of that when Aquarius Maxim come in. So I can't wait till that beautiful sister come in here. I met her in Atlanta, Georgia one time, and she did a great job with Ra'aku, Red Pill and Blue Pill, Brother Oba, and of course, A.A. Rashid was in the building. Again, now this is another sponsor. Now this is the event that Baba Master Yao is going to be doing on July 23rd. It's a course. It's a 7-series course, a 7-session course, includes 7 sections, and it's going to be in the Metro Atlanta area, and it's also going to be live streamed. But it's called the Path to High Level Orgasm. Oh man, includes semen retention. So I'm going to have Master Yao, and if you want to go to his website, make sure you go to https://gti.wildapricot.org/stores. And this is Master Yao. If you don't know who Master Yao is, this is Master Yao Morris. He will be in the building speaking with me on Wednesday, July the 1st. That's going to be the first person I'm putting up here in July. So it's going to be a healing session in a number 7 month. Oh, that's going to be crazy. And of course, my goodness, we have this beautiful family here. Make sure you go to Pedal Wise Com. And if you want to save 10%, with Pedal Wise, make sure you go there and put in the 10% saving code of King 2020. That's my saving code. So if you put in that coupon code of King 2020, you will save 10% at www.pedalwise.com. Remember, she is a natural gynecologist, so everything she do comes from Chinese and African medicine. Out of all of Asia and all of Africa, she deals with those type of herbs. And make sure you put in that King 2020 as a saving grace and a saving code. You save 10% when you do that with www.pedalwise.com. Make sure you show them some love. Also, don't forget we have the real estate specialist herself. She said people have been calling us, so that's good to find out about homes in New York or apartments in New York, rooms to rent in New York, Airbnb if you're coming to visit New York this summer. She got the hookup. She got the connection. Her name is Janelle Lewis, licensed real estate salesperson. Is doing her work and doing some great work in the community. Give her a call or text her at 347-866-1153. That's 347-866-1153. That's the one, the only Janelle Lewis. I've known her for 15 years, and she's been doing her great work, and I'm very proud of her, of what she does and how she does things. So enough respect to her and the whole family out there that's doing their work and what all of them are doing. 53 minutes after the hour, of course, you know I got to promote myself. Numerovation. Consultation with King Simon, using your numbers to motivate you. For an appointment, please text your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. And remember, this is applied mathematics. Learn how to apply your numbers, and they will help and guide you if you use them properly and with right intentions, of course. Don't forget, my books are out there. This is my book called No Promotion is Bad Promotion and All Publicity is Good Publicity. So make sure you get that book. Facebook, Instagram. Oh, man, I'm telling you. YouTube, you know what it is. Go get the book. It's on Amazon and Kindle. And remember, every time you buy any one of these 3 books, like that one, and of course this one, Numbers Are Simple, People Are Complicated, and this one, Numbers Are Simple, Our Children's Health is Important, you are also supporting Baba Layla Africa. You're also supporting him because he is my publisher. He gets his percentage, I get my percentage, and they've been taking care of me. My royalties been coming in every 3 to 6 months. So I'm loving what's going on at Charles Childs Publishing, which is Dr. Africa and his wife's publishing. Okay, the late great Dr. Layla Africa. Once again, please subscribe. Click on the bell if you want to be notified. Click on the bell if you want to be notified. So you got to subscribe to King Simon Presents, man. You got to subscribe to King Simon Presents because we're going to have a good time with that. All right? That's what we do. It is 54 minutes before 54 minutes after the hour, but approximately 6 minutes before we bring on Kyoshi Khaleeq Lewis, one of my teachers in the martial arts, and he was also taught by Master Duncan. I wasn't formally taught by Master Duncan. I just went to 1 or 2 classes, but I was really under the system of Sanuka's Ryu Jiu-Jitsu with Dr. Moses Powell, but my teachers were Anthony Muhammad, Soke Littlejohn, Professor Bill, Soke Osei, all these different various teachers, Xian Wayne, the late great Xian Wayne, those was almost also my teachers also. So enough respect to each and every one of them that are doing the great work that they're doing. And I am so proud of what we are doing as far as giving. This is the martial arts edition. That's why this one is called self-preservation, the martial arts edition. We gotta respect the arts. We gotta learn how to defend ourselves and protect ourselves, and we gotta know how to do it mentally also. We need to pay attention to ourselves mentally. That's why the war is usually won with the mind first. Y'all got to read The Art of War. My book, My Art of War, is all torn up and ripped to pieces. But it is what it is. Please share. Please like, share this video. Please share and please like this video. Share. Because the more you share, that shows that you care. And remember, this is all about self-preservation. So we have a master in the martial arts coming in to break it down, go through his life and all that. I see him in the backstage already, so we got to make sure we bring him on at 9 o'clock. Let me big up some more things that we got to big up right now. Just want to remind everybody, if you want to pre-order my book, my new book, Numerovation for Mental Stability, the price is $40.40. Oh man, remember the 40/40 club? Yeah, the price is $40.40 via PayPal. That's www.paypal.me/Numerovator, the Numerovator. That's / the Numerovator. Please include your full name and mailing address in the PayPal note section so I'll know where to send it to. Remember, the books will go out between August and September and October, depending on what's going on at this reset, depending on the mails. But everything is included in that $40.40, that $40.40. Everything is included. Also, just want to remind everybody once again, please like, subscribe, share to King Simon, the King Simon Presents YouTube. And remember, I got Patreon now. Make sure you go to www.patreon.com / King Simon Production. And don't forget my website, kingsimonproduction.wordpress.com. And that's my other website, www.numbersAreSimple.com. Before we bring on the great, one of our master teachers and master martial artists, Kyoshi Khaleeq Lewis, before we bring him on, you know I got to read his bio. You know I got to read his bio and drop it like it's hot up in here, because he got an extensive bio. So I'm going to read portions of it so people know what we got. And I got to make sure my applause buttons are going on and everything is looking right so we can get him on with a well-deserved round of applause too, you know, because he's family. I got to make sure the family, before I show my face, before I show his face, we're going to make this thing happen. Believe me, if you ever had any of the flyers, usually you see my number on the flyer too, because I'm a promoter. I help promote, and I promoted him. I promoted Professor Bill. I promoted Anthony, GM Anthony's. I promoted Soke. Lamar Thornton. I promoted so many people, man, because I've been to every school and, you know, love my brothers that's in the martial arts, because they've definitely helped me to become better in what I do and how I do. So enough respect. Let's read his bio before we bring it on. It is now 2 minutes before the hour. Born and raised in the Bronx, Boogie Down Bronx, New York, Khaliq A. Lewis, known as Shion, but now he's Kyoshi. So you got to big that up. Began training in the martial arts early in life under the tutelage of Maurice Joseph. Since Khaliq grew up in the area where many trained in the different arts, street fighting and boxing, he learned at an early age the importance of self-defense. This was the beginning of a long and very involved career in many aspects and disciplines of the martial arts. Khaliq Lewis has trained at the Gleason Boxing Gym in Brooklyn, also Gladiators Boxing Gym in Manhattan, and he went on to study several disciplines of the martial arts such as karate, jiu-jitsu, aikido, aki jiu-jitsu, kempo, baki jiu-jitsu, weaponry, shinobino jiu-jitsu, and he has trained and mentored under Maurice Joseph, Hilly Lawrence, and Ali Abdul Karim Hanshi, and also Professor Yahya Abdul Muhammad, and Jamie Elabri Hanshi, and also Master Harvey King, and the late great Professor Ronald Duncan Sr., known as the father of American Jiu-Jitsu. Yes, that was one of our brothers, man. And through the supervision of the instructions of Professor Ronald Duncan Sr., Khaliq Lewis has become a certified instructor in armed and unarmed combat, including Shinobi Jiu-Jitsu and known as Ninjutsu. So without any further ado, he got an extensive one. I would have went through it all, but I gotta bring my brother on. It is now 9 o'clock in the hour. We gotta bring our brother on with a well-deserved round of applause as we welcome the one, the only, my brother, Kaisho, hey, my brother, the master martial artist, and Kyoshi, the one, the only, Khaleeq A. Lewis in the building. How you doing, my brother? As I bring you on, let me take that out of your face. Bring everything on and do what we got. We got the applause button. What's up, Baba? How you doing, sir? How you doing? How you doing?
I'm fine.
We got the applause.
Yeah, peace and blessings to everyone who is on. I'm well, and yourself?
I'm well, sir. I'm well. I'm well. How's the family? Everybody all right?
Yes, sir. Well, you look wonderful. Yeah, everybody's wonderful on this side, as well as to be expected. You know, with all of the excitement going on in the world and things like that, God has allowed us to be preserved and well in this time. Thank God for that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's true. That's true, man. Well,
Yes,
I'm
sir.
thankful for you for even being a part of this journey that I'm doing on here. And I think there's a little delay. Hold
Oh,
on one
thank you for
second. Let me
having
just
me, man.
bring you out and then bring you back on. Hold on one second. There's a little delay. Hold on one second.
Okay.
Okay, Baba. Hold on one second. Let me just, okay, let's make sure bring them back on. There's a little delay and let's bring them back on. Can you hear me better? Can you hear me?
I,
Can you hear
I
me?
can hear you fine. Can you hear me? Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's just a little delay. That's all. There's a
Can you
little
hear me?
delay going on. That's all. Yeah, I can hear you, but it's a delay.
Technology.
Yeah.
It's
It's
just today's
technical.
technology. Yeah,
Okay,
technical,
good.
right?
We're in sync. We're in sync now. We're in sync. My
Yes,
brother.
sir.
First of all, what an extensive bio you do have, and plus you was inducted into a Hall of Fame. Also, there was so much that it was so much. You was inducted in Hall of Fame under Master Aaron Banks, and you've been inducted in so many. I mean, you've been doing a lot of work, brother, for the young soldier that you are.
well, thank you for that, man. Honestly, I'm honored, and
Yeah.
I'm humbled by all of those accolades. It's been a journey. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
sir.
To get here at the tender age of 52, we hold on to a great history, and we have been under the tutelage of some great masters.
Yes, sir.
You named them. You named them for me. So unless you have any specific questions about them, um, they were wonderful influences in my life. We think about from the very beginning with
Yes, sir.
Maurice and Brother Healy and all of these other masters in my early training,
Yes.
who saw something in a young man, just like a lot of the times, you had people in those days. You had street men, hustlers, and things like that. You had good men as well that saw young people like myself,
Mhm.
who had potential.
Right. Right.
And in those days, growing up in the South Bronx, there was the Bronx Shotokan Karate
Mhm.
school,
Yes.
and it was that was on Third Avenue.
Mhm.
149th Street was the no, I'm sorry, 149th Street was Hawk Frazier. They were up 167th Street.
Mhm.
You also had some of the other schools in the area. Some of them were like Taekwondo schools and things like that. But those brothers used to come out and take some of the young brothers like myself and, kind of teach them little techniques and whatnot. Um, I, I was introduced to the martial arts by my aunt, Vanessa,
Mm.
at the age of 7. Yeah, she took me to see Enter the Dragon, and I came out kicking. I ain't never been the
Like
same.
like most like most of us, we went to see After the Dragon
Yeah.
every Saturday,
I
and
was,
sometimes
I was,
they came on television every Saturday morning, Saturday afternoons, martial arts. Oh man, we
yeah,
love it.
yeah, yeah. That came a little bit later, like maybe around the late 70s, early
Late 70s, yeah,
80s.
yeah,
Those a lot of those shows that we shared, people in our age brackets, and yeah, and then I think in the late 70s, early 80s, they started showing a lot of those kung fu movies. But we were purchasing them. I remember on 125th Street, they used to have one of my good friends. He called it Bend Down Plaza. So
yes,
bend down plaza is when you go and pick up what you wanted to watch on the ground. They had the vendors. They used to put the videos and stuff on the ground. So you go to Bend Down Plaza and pick up what you wanted to watch for $5, $10 or whatever that they recorded from television. So we
yes,
would go and work out some of those those videos. I mean, you see it a lot now where people would mimic the voices and the dub voices and everything like that. But
yes,
we really enjoyed those things. We they sparked a great amount of training in our environments, in the inner cities.
mhm,
I know for me, um, watching Muhammad Ali and other great boxing heroes and things like that
mhm,
influence our training as well. Of course, you had the era of Mike Tyson,
Yes.
come in, and of course he was, man, he was something to watch, and when I started to actually get into serious training is when I came into unfortunate, like a
Right.
lot of kids,
Right.
back then, to get into fist fights,
Mm-hmm.
not like today where you have a lot of young people brandishing guns. You had to fight. You had to
Yes,
fight
sir. That's right. That's
with
right.
your fist to survive. And so, took me in to teach how to defend myself. It was a blessing for me.
Yes.
When I got an opportunity to learn these things, I learned that I had a heart early in life.
Mm-hmm. You're frozen.
Take anything away from brothers that will teach you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, give you a great discipline. And
Yes.
so they taught me, a lot about principles, things like that you don't see. Unfortunately, to
Mm-hmm.
do those things, but so many things have been taken away from us. So I'm, I'm here to tell you that, man, the martial arts has been one of the greatest entities and one of the, I want to say, uncharted areas, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where people would come and bring their children and trust their children to senseis, right? To help bring them up. It takes a village, right? It takes an entire village to raise a child. I'm a
Right.
product of that.
Right, right, and brother, that's commendable, and I've seen the work that you've done with children. I've seen the work that many of the people that I've mentioned have done with children, and how helpful it has been, even in my life. Protecting
Yes, sir.
myself from since I was young. So I, I understand.
Yeah, yes,
But
sir. Well, you got to try. You got to try with children, man. You had
you funny. Yes, sir. I have a tribe. you know, but going back into time with your family and either your mom or dad. Was any of them in your family a heavy influence other than your aunt, or did you see your father? Anybody trained? Was anybody in the military? How did that go when you
well,
was young?
yeah. Well, actually, my uncle Willie, rest
Okay.
his soul, was he was in the military. He was in the army,
Mm-hmm.
and he was also a black belt karate.
Mm-hmm.
And he, unfortunately, he had some mitigating factors, but he trained. My uncle Albert was also Tai Chi practitioner.
Mm.
In fact, I actually just found that out recently. He shared that with me when he saw on Facebook. He saw my, because I don't really talk too much about
Right.
my accolades to my family. I'm just Khaliq to my
Yes, sir.
family.
Right.
But when they started to see those things on Facebook, they were like, "Why don't you share this part of your life with us?" And so I started to. And my uncle shared that he was actually very good.
Mm.
He did mention his teachers. I'm sorry, I'm not prepared to tell you who his teachers were. I know that he did learn under some Chinese masters,
Okay.
and he was actually very good. I think he studied for about 6 to 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
But he went on to pursue a PhD degree in psychology, and he
Mm-hmm.
worked in the school systems for quite some years.
Mm.
Um, but I'm grateful to them for encouraging me. My mother never stopped me. She actually wanted me to continue on in college, and which I did go. I went to NYU
Mm-hmm.
to study business school,
Right.
and where at that time I started to um, train. I think even more diligently when I was in school.
Mm-hmm.
I got an opportunity. I think it was in 1993.
Mm-hmm.
I met Soke Ali Abdul Kareem.
Abdul Kareem. Oh.
Um, yes, sir. And one of the greatest influences of my life, because he introduced me. Well, I was sent to him by Imam after I converted my conversion to Islam in
Mm-hmm.
1988. Imam Azizuddin Bilal sent
Mm-hmm.
me to train with him in 1993
Mm-hmm.
in Brooklyn, here in Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
And when I saw him, I was like, man, you know, I never seen nothing like that. I want to train. I want to be like that guy. You know, he was spinning around and he had weapons and doing all the stuff that, you know, I got an opportunity to do later on. You know, when I got an opportunity to meet his instructor, who later
Yeah.
became my instructor, Master Ron Duncan,
Yeah.
I was floored. You know,
Yeah.
he was not a tall person, right?
Yeah.
But
Yes.
when I didn't realize I was taller than him because he was bigger than life. His
Yeah.
voice was big.
Everybody. We
He
watched them
was
on
big,
commercials
heavy.
and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah,
Yeah, man. Of course.
yeah, 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 yeah. When I see this man walk in the room, and I'm looking at him on from video and magazines, and here I'm in the room with him, and he's teaching and instructing me, and you know, yelling at me for stepping on my hakama and almost killing myself. We were at a school in Queens, but you know those days that you had the hard training and you were in awe of your teachers. um I still have those feelings. You know,
Yeah.
I'm still the, you know, although people may look at me and they see the prowess and the things that I've developed, thank God,
Right.
with all of the Hall of Fames and things that I
Yeah.
was inducted in, you know, nominated by grandmasters. I was accepted by masters.
Yes, sir.
You know, it's interesting. Thinking about Soke Hassan Khaliq,
Yes.
another great
Yes.
influence,
Yes. That
who
weapon.
was also a student of Dr. Moses Powell.
Yes, sir.
He
Uh,
said to me one day, you know, he said, "You're in a very unique position because you're accepted by
mm,
grandmasters." And I said,
mm.
"Wow, that's
Oh yeah.
interesting." Yeah,
When he said
you
something like
know,
that, you know you got to
and
think
I
about it.
didn't realize that. Yeah, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. You know, and then when I got to another chance to meet another great influence in my life is Grandmaster Abdul Aziz, or Grandmaster
Mm.
Anthony, formerly Grandmaster Anthony
Anthony,
Muhammad.
yes.
You know, those men were also great enthusiasts to help push me with the Sanuka-Sru Jiu-Jitsu. Now, those men I had met also through one of my teachers that you mentioned, Yahya Muhammad.
Yeah, yeah.
We affectionately known as Abu Ubaidah,
Mm-hmm.
Rahimutullah. We say Rahimutullah. That means
He passed.
may Allah be pleased with him. He
Yes.
returned to
He took to
Allah
yes.
back in, I believe, 2011.
Yes, sir.
But he helped polish a lot of the techniques and things that I learned from the Sanuka-Sru Jiu-Jitsu experiences that I had, as well as some of the ninjutsu that I learned as well.
Right.
He trained under one of early students of Grandmaster Ron Duncan by the name of Master Wigginton.
Mm-hmm.
And Master Wigginton was in Philadelphia. He was one of the early students of Master Duncan.
Yes, sir.
And man, I tell you, those guys were absolutely, you know, amazing
Yes.
at their prowess. You know, very
They
strong characters
mm-hmm.
and great influences. Yes, sir. I'm sorry.
They were like our superheroes, brother. Those was our superheroes.
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah,
I
yeah.
remember being in well, my cousins came from Jamaica, and they showed me a picture of Dr. Powell and Master Duncan when I was 8 years old. I never forget
Yes,
that
sir.
because they kept on saying Ronald McDonald, but it was Master Duncan because they was so young and they didn't understand what was going on, but they knew Dr. Powell. I seen the picture and I was like, oh man! And then when I grew up and then started discovering about who these men were, it was like, oh man! And then I was introduced. It was like, oh man, it was like a dream come true. And then watching on the World of Sports, Master Duncan catching arrows back in the day.
Yes, yes, sir.
People forget that
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
arrows on television.
yeah.
Man,
I got a chance to hold that bow, man. I was like, wow. I got, you know, I asked him about it. He said, "There it is, right over there." Go, you know, I grabbed it and held it up and stuff. You know, I never got a chance to do that stuff myself. I didn't have the heart to ask him to teach me how to
yeah,
do. I
yeah,
learned some Kyujitsu,
yeah.
which is, you know, the shooting of it,
Right.
but catching the arrows, I've never done that.
Have you
Yeah.
ever met Dr. Moses Powell?
No, unfortunately,
Oh,
it's
oh,
interesting because I've trained with many of his students,
yes. Yeah.
but I've never got the chance to meet him. However, I was in a unique opportunity
Mhm.
to help host his memorial
Yes.
um, some years ago in 2005
Yes.
when he transitioned. I was teaching at Masjid Khalifa on Madison and Bedford,
Yes.
and that building was the same building where he used to teach when he was a lieutenant in the
Yes.
FOI,
Yeah.
a Nation of Islam. He was a FOI, I think he was a lieutenant, and so I got a phone call to ask me about trying to link the people and the families and things like that, and so I got an opportunity to meet his daughter and some
Yes.
other people back
Mm.
then that I had never gotten a chance to meet. And
Yes.
so when they came down to the mosque, we had transformed that place into a very beautiful area, and
Yes.
everybody was well pleased. I think it was about maybe about 500-600 people in
Yes.
attendance. It was,
Well,
it was
I was out of
absolutely.
town. I didn't even make it, brother. I was out of town. Didn't make it.
Yeah, I know. I know. I think I called you, but you said you wasn't going to be able to make
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. I was out of
I know
town. And I
Minister
remember
Farrakhan.
Mr. Farrakhan spoke. Yes, and I missed
Yeah,
the
yes,
last
Minister Farrakhan spoke.
the last funeral I went
Huh?
to was Dr. Powell's father. Dr. Powell. I went to
Oh, is
his,
that right?
and guess what? Dr. Powell is a junior because his father was Moses Powell. No,
Oh, wow. Well, you teaching me. You telling me something.
yeah, a lot of people don't remember, but we was there, and
Yeah.
it was Moses Powell, and then I didn't know he was a junior either until we went to the funeral, and we
What?
went to the funeral home on Troy Avenue, Troy and Fulton Street.
Mm-hmm.
That's where they had
Yes,
the
yes,
funeral of
yes.
Dr. Powell. We all went
Oh,
there.
wow, wow,
What
wow,
love.
man! That place has been there forever, man.
Yeah, it's buried a lot of people over
Yeah,
there, but that place has buried a
yeah,
lot of
yes,
people.
yes, sir. Yeah, yes,
Before
sir.
we
Well,
move on, before we
I'm
move
sorry.
on, let me promote your stuff, your website and everything. Okay, hold on one second.
Oh,
Okay.
sure. Yes, sir.
Yes, those who want to get in contact with Baba Kyoshi Khaleeq Lewis for info or consultation for the youths and adults, please call him at 347-554-7731. That's 347-554-7731. Remember, you could email him also at Makoto Kan Martial Arts at gmail.com. That's Makoto Kan Martial Arts at gmail.com. Or you can go to their website at www.makoto con.webs.com. So make sure you go to their website and check out they got all the accolades up there about them. Of course, you can hit them up on Facebook at Makoto Kan Warrior Arts, IG at Khaleeq A Lewis at IG. That's Instagram. So we just want to make sure we show that love to you, Baba. Make sure everything is going. And I do want to play a clip, but we want to continue. But I want to play a clip from one of your commercials. But I want to make
Sure.
sure but let's talk. Let's continue to talk and move on.
Okay.
But
Yes, sir.
what's so interesting, I have some questions here. Now, the name of the show is self-preservation, which we always
Yes,
used to teach that self-preservation is the first law of nature. From
absolutely.
from your perspective, what does that mean to you personally, and how should we develop this in ourselves and our family also, as far as in the martial arts, in the field of martial arts?
Well, self-preservation, man. I'm gonna tell you, experience is the best teacher, right?
Yes.
And we talked earlier about children,
Yes.
cyberbullying and things
Right.
like that. And we'll take, even before there's contact, right?
Mm.
Your energy, something tells you in your spirit that something is not right,
Yes.
right? And you should not be in that area or around certain types of people. But sometimes, our curiosity gets the best of us. Your mind tells you I shouldn't do this,
Yes.
right? So there's an innate energy, an idea I should not do this thing, right? I'll tell you a quick story, man. Um, I was one day, my mother told me not to be out past the light, right? When the light
like
turns
like
green.
all the mothers.
Yeah, yeah. Have yourself in the house at a certain hour.
Right.
Well, you know, I knew that it was going to result in a behind whipping if I didn't get home in a certain time. Well,
Mm-hmm.
that's part of self-preservation.
That's right. That's true.
Right? You know what I mean? So, if it starts in the home, brother,
That's right. Exactly.
when you look at a time like this where you got unrest, you got racial um, um, tensions going on, and it's something that has never really subsided. Right? We become interwoven in the society, been sort of accepted in our jobs, but we don't have true equality,
Right.
and so many of us don't realize how to do things the way that no matter what our I'm sorry, Dan, no matter what our experiences are,
Mm-hmm.
we know that there's something that we need to do. Sometimes we don't know what that contingency plan, or we don't have plans to make those exits or make them work for us. In the martial arts, it helps to prepare you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Especially the art that I learned. I learned the arts of ninjutsu, Aikido Jitsu, and karate, and jujitsu. Those arts teach you how to actually fight, but
Right.
ninjutsu actually teaches you how to think,
Yes.
right? So we always have to remember that an ounce of cure, right,
Yes.
is better. I'm sorry,
Also,
how's it say?
prevention. Prevention.
An ounce of prevention is better
Yes, sir.
than a pound of cure.
Yes, sir.
Right.
That's
So
right.
so the martial arts, you have to learn how to first use your mind. I
Yes.
remember asking Sensei Duncan one day, because he had all these weapons out, and as you'll see in the video, you'll see him
Yes.
sitting
Yes.
in an area where he have all these weapons in front of him, right? And then you'll see me with some weapons in front of me.
Yes.
So I
Yes.
asked
Yes.
him, I said, Sensei, what's your favorite weapon? So he pointed behind me. I was sitting in a chair, and there was a picture behind me, and it was of a soldier that was given to him. It was a picture painted of a soldier, and the caption said, "The greatest weapon is your mind."
Mm-hmm. That's right.
So I think that when you get an opportunity to go to whatever school you go to, pick the school that's going to help you. One, first, use your mind. I was talking to a brother earlier, and I said to him, I didn't get into the martial arts to learn how to fight. I was when I got into the martial arts, I was introduced to it, right? My aunt and some other people and others helped raise me, but I wanted to learn how not to fight. I'm the
Mm-hmm.
loaded gun.
Right.
You know what I
Exactly.
mean? So when Master Kareem was sharing the art of survival, and this is what the martial arts is supposed to teach you: how to survive, right? In times like this, where to get your water, how to stock up on your goods, where to get water from when you don't have regular water, right?
Yeah.
And simple things like that helps you do those things. What martial arts, in terms of your training and fighting and your exercise and things like that, they help to build character, fortify your
Mm-hmm.
spirit, help to
Mm-hmm.
strengthen the mind, right, as well as the fist,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you have to become that fist.
Yes. Right. Right. You definitely have to become that fist, and what's so interesting? Can you hear me? You can hear me?
Again, you fine. Yes, sir. I'm listening.
Okay, no problem. What's so interesting? The children that I've seen you work with, and numerous martial
Yes.
artists. One thing about Master Duncan, I also seen him work with someone blind. I remember back in the day, there was a brother that was able to throw knives, shoot arrows in Master
Yes.
Duncan's class.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
what's his name? What's his name? Master Mark. What was his name? Mark. I forgot his name. You remember his name? The one who used
Oh,
to train.
Mark, you talking about the blind fella?
Yeah, yeah, the blind brother. He used to
Yes,
train.
yes,
Yeah,
yes, Mark. Man, let me tell you something. Let me share a
yeah,
story with you. One day, here we are, all these black belts, up at Storm King,
yeah,
and we're throwing knives,
yeah.
and we were missing the target. This blind man, sensei, go and grab a stick. This was a master. This is what I'm saying. how he can tap into the mind. He would
Yeah.
he tapped the area where he wanted Mark to hit, and Mark would throw the knife and boom and hit it. We all
Whoa.
looking at each other like this is something
Yeah.
wrong with this.
He
But
told me
that's
that.
the intuitive mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the intuitive mind, you know.
He told me
Don't
that
make the
story,
wrong
Bubby.
sound around him if he's upset with you, man. He's gonna throw something at you and hit you with that thing.
And he used to, but I heard he used to win the knife throwing contest all the time.
He won them. I was yo, man.
Yeah.
We was upset. Yeah.
So that's why I had to bring him up because I had to bring him up because there's no excuse not to train. There's no excuse
Yes,
not to
that's right.
train. And because of this encouraged you as a child because you went to Gleason's boxing gym, you went to the other
Yes.
boxing gym. I mean, you studied the different formulas of combat
Yes.
in
Yes.
many
Yes, sir.
forms.
Yes, sir.
And
Yes.
and directed to the adults today that choose not to, or the parents that choose not to put their children in it. Let's talk to them. Let's talk to them because we're in a serious time, and there's a lot of the young people that's out there. And
Yes.
knowing, I've been in a police situation before, and
Right.
all I can remember is Doc and Soke Little John telling me to back up against the wall and let them come. And I
Yes.
was able to get away from these guys, which was crazy, and without
Right.
getting killed.
But interesting. Okay, so the martial
Yes,
arts again teaches you
yes,
survival,
yes.
right? So
Survival.
that's part of what you just mentioned was survival, right?
Yes.
Now we're
Mhm.
not telling you to go and disobey the law,
Right.
right? However, let's take this gentleman who was just killed down in Atlanta
Atlanta.
over
Right.
the weekend,
Right.
right? And he was unfortunately he was sleeping in his car. He was inebriated, and they called the police on him. And you got a whole country screaming racial inequality at the death of George Floyd. You know, was he wrong? Sure. You got people out here still, in the middle of a pandemic, still very frustrated, no work, drinking brown liquor, and trying to escape the realities of what's happening around them, right? Not knowing what to do. This man tried to cooperate in the very beginning, but when he realized he was going to be arrested, he wanted to get out of there. I think he was inebriated enough that if you allowed him to run around the around the parking lot, he'd have fell out on his own, you know. Um,
Right.
and but they fought him, and unfortunately, they shot him in the back
Mhm.
as he tried to take the taser or whatever. And people do irrational things when they're not thinking. So we're going to
Right.
go back to children.
Yes.
These lessons we have to show them. Um, Unfortunately, at the behest of many things that go wrong, what
Mhm.
not to do, right?
Yes.
And so we teach them in our school about forms. Now, in things in forms help again fortify and shape the character of the person, and then we start to talk to them about the reality of being bullied, right?
Mhm.
Never to be the aggressor, but never let anybody aggress you,
Right.
okay? And so if you have multiple attackers, of course, what's going to happen? You're going to feel fear, you're going to feel
Mhm.
adrenaline, you're going to feel all of these different emotions,
Most.
right, when
Right.
something is happening. But you don't give in to them.
Right.
You deal with them. And if the law tells you to do something, we try to do that peacefully. But they have been, unfortunately, not peaceful to us.
Mhm.
And our first idea of wanting to fight back is just an act of survival, right?
Mhm.
Because we have fear. So going back to this brother down in Atlanta, he wanted to survive.
Mhm.
He lost the battle. You know, so there's certain things that you have to do. when you're talking about survival, right? I
Mm.
can get into fighting. I can get into if I'm attacked,
Right.
right? And you have to learn how to defend yourself. That is where the dojos come in. That's with finding the proper school to go in that's going to help you, learn, because I can learn all of the katas. That's
Right.
good, or forms to learn how to do those things. That's a building block. Those are things. But when you actually get into the meat and the potatoes of things, right,
Yeah.
and you get into actual combat, that pressure is what makes diamonds. That's what
Mm.
makes you strong. You
That's
see
right.
what I'm saying? So you got to get in there. You got to fight. You got to actually engage. And those engaging moments, right? When you're talking about fighting with knives, fighting with guns,
Yeah.
fighting with ancient as modern as well as modern weapons, right? Sensei Duncan was a practical man, right?
Yes.
He didn't believe in a lot of fanfare.
You're
So
right.
even he trained the children just like he trained the adults. I trained my children just like I trained my adults. No
Mm.
fanfare. You see,
I'm
you
glad you
have.
said that.
Yes, because
I'm glad you
because
said
you have to. You have to
that.
because
Yeah.
they're young people. You're a little bit lighter because they're
Hmm.
children. Their bodies have to be strengthened. You have to teach them to grow up. When
Right.
I have a daughter,
Yes.
my daughter's a brilliant young lady, and she's growing up to even have vocabulary beyond mine. Sometimes I'm talking to her and I'm saying, "Lose the thesaurus." What is right? But you know, but when I remember telling her mother, I said, "Listen, don't Google Gaga her. Talk to her,
Mm.
right? You can be
Right.
tender with her. You can do all of the wonderful things that you do with babies, but you have to treat her with the mind because that's a mind." Right?
Yes.
You don't you
Yes.
don't say illicit things. You don't say disrespectful things. You teach them properly. You teach them
Mm.
from the code of righteousness. And so, as you're talking to this child, you're giving birth to that life, right? You speak
Hmm.
to that spirit. You see, and you help them. So I started teaching her from a young age martial arts. I started teaching her, how to read. In fact, at 18, I started teaching her how to read at 18 months old. And
Mm.
today,
Mm.
she's a 4-time recipient of the Presidential Award for Academic Excellence.
Mm.
You know,
Mm.
it's how you teach the mind. So
Yes.
when you're teaching children the martial arts, it doesn't change. You have to teach them how to think,
Hmm.
right? So for all scenarios, adapt and overcome in every situation that is put in front of you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And that's what's important, that we do train the children's minds. And like you said, I was one of those people that didn't Google Gaga my children. I even bought them books. I let the rest of the
Yes.
family buy them toys, but I bought them books. But you said
I
something
bought
about,
books. Yes, right.
yeah,
Yes.
you said something about the weapons, because Osensei was all about improvised weapons.
That's right.
Improvised
That's right.
weapons.
He loved it.
I remember
Yes.
I
Yes.
even did a whole video on improvised
Listen,
weapons.
man.
I have it.
Listen. He would say he would say something like this. This is the
Yep.
weapon.
Yep.
You see how
That's a
hard that
weapon.
thing is? You hit somebody upside the head with that, man, of newspaper,
This is a weapon.
rolled up magazine, a cell phone,
The
right? A
pen.
pen. That's right.
This is a
Man,
weapon.
little pen, man. Yeah, was a weapon.
Everything.
It's an extension. It's extension
And
of your body.
and,
So
and,
so
and,
yeah. I
uh,
mean, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm
no,
sorry.
I'm sorry. Yeah, because my son, he got in trouble because of something that happened in school, and where children had threatened him, so he thought that he could go bring a weapon. And I said, brother, you brought something that you are not allowed to have in school, when everything that you had in your bag was what it was. It
Was a weapon. That's
was
right.
a weapon. I put it. I laid it
Yeah.
on the table. I laid it all on the table, from his belt, on his pants, to
Right.
the pens and the books that he had. I said, "Now
That's right.
look at this that you brought to school and got yourself in trouble with, and look at
Right.
this. All of these
Right.
different things. How many of these things
Right.
did you have compared to that one?
That's right. That's right. You didn't have to bring that.
You ain't had to, and you
not
wouldn't have gotten in trouble."
not at all. You had all you needed. You was equipped with it. You just didn't realize what you had in your possession. You know.
Exactly what I told him, and
That's
I
right.
showed I
But
showed him that tape with Master Duncan. I said, "That's what I'm trying to tell you. You
yes.
got to this is your first weapon, but this is the
Yeah.
first weapon, and then this. So once we
That's
use
right.
this, he could have got out of that with this.
Yes,
And
you know, you want to laugh. You want to laugh. There's a one of the grandmasters' name is Stevie Gamble. Stevie Gamble is a police officer. He's up in Newburgh, and Master Gamble. When I say uh, he's one heck of a guy. I think he's, you know, he was actually one of the heroes I would always love to see when I went up there. And you know, one day he came in. When we was up in Storm King, and he was wearing, you know, regular civilian clothes. I was surprised because he would always, him and the students would come in their gis and you know, work out and stuff like that. But this particular day, he wore a jean, you know, a jean outfit and a regular red T-shirt, and he walked around. He walked around the event, you know, greeted everybody, shook everybody, you know, his hand, and when it was time for his segment, I'm thinking he's going to go and change. He didn't change. He went right up like he was, and then he had a student lay out a cloth on the mat, and he started pulling out all these weapons, knives, guns, and he pulled out a sword. And he pulled out a knife out of his belt, you know, out of his shoes.
yeah.
I was like, man, you know, today he would have never made it through the airport.
Of course not.
But if you was going to, if he was going to do something, man, you was in trouble. You
Right.
know, he was never detectable. He did not look any heavier.
Yes.
These things were placed properly on the body. These were things that's right. They were teaching us a lesson about hidden weapons. They were teaching us about how to either see. Now he wouldn't let anybody touch him. He would just shake the hand.
Right. Of course.
Right?
Of course.
So there was no close.
No hug. No embraces.
No hugs. No hugs. Right. So, you know, and I thought that was quite interesting. That thing stuck with me for a long time. Now I've seen things with hidden pockets myself, and you know, other things like that, but I've never seen anything like that before. That was very interesting. I said that to say, in today's society, right, people teach their children different survival tactics.
Right.
Some of them teach them, again, as you said, look at what you have in your possession as weapons. Look at how to preserve yourself with just a shoestring.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
You remember the time they used to take the shoestrings out the shoes and flap around?
That's right.
Remember?
Yeah.
Back in the days,
on the pole,
shoestrings out, wear them around the neck with the Adidas. You remember that? I'm dating myself.
or they'll throw them on the poles or the light posts back in the day.
Oh,
you remember?
Yeah. But you know, what I'm saying is that, you know, when people, you know, when these young men are wearing their pants down by their ankles, right?
Yes.
You know, by the kneecaps, you can't defend yourself. Not the way we're supposed to. Right. And it also speaks to an attitude. You know, there's a saying, an old Japanese saying, "Manari no heiho." That is the art of appearance. Right. So the art of appearance is also part of preservation. It's part of a skill. Right. So it's how I present myself. I can posture myself up tough, or I can be just as, you know, relaxed. You know, I can seem aggressive or passive. It's how you think. It's how you approach any situation. You know, you know, as Minister Malcolm said, we are not violent against anybody who's non-violent against us.
That's right. And Master Duncan,
the other part of that.
Of course, there's another part of that. But Master Duncan,
but that's what Sensei Duncan would tell us.
Yeah, Sensei used to say something about respecting the weapon. If you remember, you respect the weapon. Any weapon you train with, make sure you respect it. And talk on that. Talk on that. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. You know, one of the things about you know, every weapon is an extension of your hands.
Yes.
right? So I mean, extension of your body. Sorry. So
Mm-hmm.
if I'm holding, you know, a knife, if I'm holding a
Yeah.
gun, if I'm holding whatever I'm holding, it's not the inanimate object, he would say, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
So you have to learn how to use that thing. I got
Yes.
a few books. Give me a second. I want to show you.
Yes. Go ahead. While he's going to show us a few books, just want to remind everybody, that make sure you support the brother. Support the brother. We're gonna this is his website and stuff. This is all of his information. To give him a call, 347-554-7731 if you want a consultation or find out about his online classes or his classes. Also, the website is www.makotokan.web, makoto-kan.webs.com. You can find out a lot of information on there, and hit him up on Facebook, Makoto Kan Warriors Art, and also IG at Khaleeq A. Lewis. Big up to Master Mo that I see in the building. Master Mo and his beautiful wife is in the building. Big up to Master Mo on Facebook. What's up, Master Mahalia? By doing it 52 blocks. Enough respect to you all. Chuck Morgan. Big up to Chuck Morgan, of course. Big up to Mrs. Powell, Cheryl Powell. What's up? I think that's one of the daughters of Master Powell, if I'm not mistaken. Big up to Cheryl all the time. And all those that are on YouTube, also big up to all of y'all on YouTube. Yeah, if you have any questions, make sure if you want to pose the questions, we're gonna do that. But I see Master Mo is inside the building also, so big up to Master Mo and
Oh,
his
Master Mo. Greetings
Master
to you,
Mo.
Grandmaster. How you doing, sir?
Yes, sir. I
Yes.
see him in there, and I see Cheryl Powell. I just mentioned her name. I think that's one of
Oh,
Doc's
the
daughters.
Queen.
Yes, I think that's
How
one
you
of
doing,
Doc's
sister?
daughters. Yes. Big up, big
Yes,
up, big
yes,
up.
yes.
Yeah, I know that.
Awesome.
I know. I'm friends with them, and I know I'm friends with a few more people. That's Doc's daughters. I know that. And Althea or Anthea, I forgot her name. But yeah. But yeah, what you was gonna
Yes.
show us, brother? What you was gonna show us?
So there's these books here. So there's
Yeah.
this book here, Gun Laws by State. Right now, this is
Yeah.
the 2018 edition. You know,
Yeah.
so this is the latest edition.
Yeah.
This one here, and then there's self-defense laws. I don't know if you
It's
can see it.
upside
Oh, I got
down.
it
Yeah.
upside down.
Yeah.
Self-defense laws of all 50 states.
Mm.
Right. These are written by lawyers.
Right.
This one here is written by Anthony Mitch Vilos and Evan Vilos.
Mm-hmm.
This is the second edition or the latest edition of self-defense laws.
Wow.
And, you know, New York, they have sort of a codified, they're codified in every state.
Yeah.
But, you know, New York is not a stand your ground.
Yeah.
Very stringent laws here, especially in the
That's
5 boroughs,
right.
because of the dense population that we have here. You know, people unfortunately die,
Yeah.
man, minutes apart, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, every hour, every second, you got fights going on, and all kind of
Mm-hmm.
because it's volatile, right? and we as martial artists should become familiar
Yes.
with these types of things.
Definitely. Because
Right.
yes. Yes.
You know, when you're talking about gun laws, it's all right to carry firearms. It's all right to be able to defend ourselves, but we should be familiar with
Yes.
these
Those laws.
laws, right?
Yes.
You know, I was watching the video the other day in Pennsylvania, and there was a gentleman who, I think it was a few days ago actually, he took a flag and he put it outside of his window. He was stopped by the police,
Mm-hmm.
and he took this flag and he put it out. It was a Moorish science flag.
Yes. Yes.
There
Right.
was 5 police cars there. What helped him? He understood the law.
The law. Yeah. That's right.
He understood the law, right?
That's right.
Now these were things that of course Noble Drew Ali. You know, you didn't have to necessarily become a more science
Right.
necessarily a science believer, or even a Mason. But these things are there in books. Most of us said, you know, the truth is hidden in books.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
And so, you know, right. So the way that you deal and how you preserve yourself is first learn how to read and study the mind of the person that's writing those laws.
That's right. That's right.
Right. And so that way you can get inside of the other person's mind. Because how do you think an enemy reads you?
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
You know, it's not just somebody drinking or smoking that may attack you. It's sometimes the person who's diabolically, you know, trying to get at you,
Yes.
right? It's
That's right.
diabolical mind. You
That's
know,
right.
try to get your money. How many cyber bullies are out there,
That's right.
right? Getting your money and things like that. So there's other ways of protecting yourself. Again, I always say that I can put up my hands. I can fight all day long, right?
Mm-hmm.
What happens when one of the three of the elements that help you fight are not
Mm-hmm.
in that place,
Mm-hmm.
right? The
Mm-hmm.
mind is always working,
Right.
right? But
Right.
there's breath,
Mm-hmm.
there's physicality, and obviously, you know, the thought process. What
Yes.
makes the difference between a trained martial artist and a
Mm-hmm.
person who's untrained as a fighter is that we
Mm-hmm.
have options,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Because our training kicks in, right?
Right.
How many of us look at UFC and you can see somebody gets into trouble, man, and get rocked, and, you know, or whatever the case would be, and all of a sudden, boom, something else happens because the training kicked in,
That's right. That's right. That's
right?
right.
The warrior within, right?
Came in.
Because
And
really, you're the greatest. You're the greatest. Uh, 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 your greatest opponent is you,
that's right. Always.
not always the person standing in front of you.
That's
You see
right.
what I'm saying? You know, it's how you adapt to the situation.
That's right. You know, and
So
brother,
come,
and that's
yes, sir.
that's very important, and that's going to lead to my next question because you see what's happening on the streets. You see, I got the T-shirt on. I just want to make sure you.
Yeah. My brother got my.
I still got
Oh,
the
hey,
T-shirt.
you
I
got
still
the
got.
you got the first batch.
I got
That's
the first batch. Yes, I was right there.
yeah. I remember.
In the class when you gave me this.
Yeah, that's right.
but
That's right. That's
but
right, man.
we see what's happening around the world with the brutality and we let's be real, you and I have trained with officers in classes, whether it was at
Yes.
Sanuki, whether it's at your class, whether it's with Professor Master Duncan or whoever class, even wherever you go, there's officers in
Yes.
certain places, and not
Yes.
all officers are bad. I
Right.
can't say that. And
Right.
like like John Henry Clark always used to say sometimes. And in regards to white folks, he always said that it was the good white folks that are always protecting the bad white folks.
Right.
But now in the officers thing, sometimes the good officers protecting the bad ones because of that code of
Right.
blue thing, that whole code of blue. Now, what are some of the procedures would you suggest for our people when dealing with law enforcement? How would you say they should go about? Because I know we've been trained, of course, in the nation and different places. Because like Dr.
Right.
Khalid used to teach us in FOI class, name, rank, and serial number, because you're supposed to only give name, rank, and serial number because it is
Right.
soldier
That's right.
meeting soldier on the battlefield. But you got to respect
Right.
who that soldier is, just like they got to respect you because you're saying yes, sir, no, sir. You're giving name, rank, serial number, and you got to get your lawyer, whatever.
That's
Because you do have the right to
right.
remain silent. That is the memorandum. We
Absolutely. That's
got to
right. You
remember
can, and honestly, some of us should exercise that right.
that. Oh my gosh, they should. they really, they really should. I be like watching. I be watching some of these YouTube clips or these World Star clips. I'm like, all you had to do was shut up, tell you the
That's
truth,
all you
and
gotta
just
do.
give what was necessary, and you would
That's right.
live another day. You know what I'm
That's right.
saying? You live another day.
That's
That's
right.
one thing I always tell people. But again, from your perspective, what are some of the procedures would you suggest when dealing with law enforcement? Because I know you've dealt with a lot of them and you know
Yes, I've dealt with them in class, outside
them.
of class. I've had
Mm-hmm.
some as students, even friends, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, and it's interesting because you know officers are people like us, right? They
Mm-hmm.
have a job to do, and unfortunately, because of a condition that our people are in, we're talking about a 400-year-old condition that these people are now being forced to realize that they have
Yeah.
been helping to perpetuate, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I say, in my humble opinion,
Mm-hmm.
that when you are looking at a situation, we're taught to obey the law of the land. We've done that. We've tried to do
Right.
that, many of us,
Right.
and not all of us, but many of us. Myself. I remember one day I got pulled over after class, and I had some weapons in the trunk of
Mm-hmm.
my car. this was in the late '90s, and I was living 330 Lincoln Avenue in those days, off Atlantic Avenue.
Yeah.
And I dropped off one of my classmates, and so I winded up taking Linden Boulevard.
Right.
And there was a car that came up behind me and seemingly to kind of like push me, you know?
Right.
So I'm looking in my rearview mirror. I'm saying, what's wrong with this guy? He's pushing me. So I wanted to get away from this guy because he was, you know, I was going the speed limit at that time. It was 30, right? 30 miles an hour. And so with my trying to get away, I see a green arrow turn, and I went through the light, a red light. I wasn't paying fully attention to the lights in front of me,
Right.
and I got pulled over. Well, it was three white officers, and you know, as they told me to make the next left at Atkins, off of Atlantic. I mean, off of Linden Boulevard.
Okay.
So I get out of that. You know, I'm in the car. I hand him my credentials, and he says he wants me to get out of the car. I said, first of all, why am I being pulled over, officer? He said, well, you ran a red light. I said, you forced me to run the red light. You pushed me down the street. He said, no, I didn't. So all I did was, you know, I was a little close on you. I said, you baited me into this. So I said, I'd like for you, if you can, to get your supervisor here before I get out of my car. So when he said, well, why would I need, if there's nothing wrong, why would I need to get my you know, superior here? I said, well, there's three of you and there's one of me. I said, I'm not really sure what I did wrong. I gave you my credentials. You have my driver's license. I can't go anywhere. You have all my credentials in your hand. Please get your supervisor. I won't move. And so, you know, I made sure I turned my car off, and, you know, so supervisor comes up a few minutes later. So now it's four of them.
Good.
They asked me to step out of my car. So the supervisor said, well, now that I'm here, we'd like to search your vehicle. I said, you want to search my vehicle? Under what, you know, under what pretense? Is there a probable cause? He says, well, no, but because you're acting suspicious, we want to search your vehicle. So I wasn't that familiar with the law. So I was nervous that they were going to plant something in my car. Okay. So what I did tell them was, and in those days, Master Ali Kareem used to give us an ID for the school, right? Okay. Which is what helped save me, actually. Because when they opened up, they were under the trunk. Now, I had just had this car clean, and anybody who knows me, who ever been in my vehicle,
you like a clean car.
Know that I was clean. My vehicle was always clean, man. Yeah.
That's right.
So, yeah. So I knew there was nothing under the seat, near the seat, nothing, right? So right. I made it clear that, you know, I had just had this car detailed, so there's nothing inside there. You have everything. They opened up the glove compartment and the armrest. And when they got to the trunk, here goes my martial arts weapons bag. Man, but it was just training weapons, you know, some wood and stuff. I didn't have any live weapons at that time. Right. Let me clear my throat at that time.
Exactly.
So I was there for about an hour or so, and that they detained me. They went and they did everything they could to look at my background. It was clean. They saw my credentials from NYU. I was a student there at the time and an employee. They came back and they just told me, they let me off with a warning. I didn't even get a ticket.
Oh, wow.
Here's my point. My point is that there has to be some sort of cooperation,
right,
from us as well as them. Now there's some, you know, because of them doing so much madness. I remember when Mayor Giuliani was in office, he was unapologetically making this a police state. And of course, you know, there was a lot of wild stuff going on, but everybody was suspect. You know,
That's
everybody
right.
was wrong. You know, if you wore this color skin, you
Yeah,
was guilty,
that's right.
right? And then you were guilty until proven innocent,
I
right?
mean,
And I
we
think that
what's so funny? That's so
you,
funny. You said Mayor Giuliani because before that, Dinkins was in, right? I think Dinkins
that's
was
right,
in that, and we had. I was in the nation at that time, and we had the sensitivity classes that we was teaching the police. We gave them the sensitivity. We
right,
was doing
right.
sensitivity classes with them, and as soon as
Yeah,
Giuliani
teaching them.
got in,
Yes,
they came to the mosque.
yes.
He came and rushed up on it, and I was there in the mosque when they rushed us.
Right, right. I remember. You remember you shared that story, man. I know Grandmaster Anthony shared that story with
Yeah,
me as well. You
that's right.
know, and but see, some of the things is that when you're teaching people, you also got to know who you're teaching,
Right,
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 and what you're teaching to people.
right.
I remember Master Duncan was telling me, you know, he was teaching a lot of law enforcement
Yeah,
and different law enforcement personnel on what to do when you're facing perpetrators.
yes, sir.
Um, in our communities, man, you asked the question earlier about
Mm,
what should we do,
what to
right?
see? Right.
And again, because these things have come back at us, because we
Mm,
knew what to do from the Nation of Islam, because
right,
of how to frisk, how to look at somebody, how to deal with people. But there was an element that was missing, and that
right,
was how to be courteous to the person that you're supposed to protect,
right.
right?
Exactly.
So they turned on a lot of us.
Yeah,
So what happens to people when you feel threatened?
yeah.
You start to buck back.
That's right.
You see,
That's right.
and I say that we're in a position now that we're bucking back,
Yeah,
and we're fighting back, but you can't fight an enemy and when you don't have any wins. All you're doing is you're punching and things like
right.
that. We have to beat them in the way that we were beaten, and that
That's
is
right.
economically,
That's right.
right? The martial arts is a venue that's going to help your young children and women, and of course your young men today, to help regain some sort of fortification,
Mm,
character building, strengthening of the mind and the
right.
spirit, right?
Right.
Um, um, you know, and help preserve those things, become part of a union, right?
Yes.
And the fraternity of the martial arts is that place. But I believe that when you're familiar with the law,
Hmm.
opening up a book, studying, right,
Yeah.
and having a contingency plan at this point on what would you do if you got into trouble, what are you going to do for your families,
That's
right?
right.
You have to know that you have some part, unfortunately, in
That's
some
right.
of the criminal activities.
That's
Listen,
right.
I got to say, brown liquor and weed don't make you think rationally.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Yeah. And and
Right?
and
You
and,
know,
and, and Noble Drew Ali used to say, "Ignorance of the law is no excuse.
none
Ignorance of the
excuse, no
law is
excuse.
no
That's
excuse."
right.
You know.
No, no, that was
No, yeah, that
Frederick Douglass. Frederick.
Frederick Douglass, but I know Noble Drew Ali used to say it too because he believed in teaching that law and the more science.
Sure, yeah, you had
Yeah,
he coined
yeah,
it. I mean,
yeah,
right? You can't be, that doesn't make you any better because you're ignorant of something. Not because they're
yeah.
going to make you aware of it,
Yes, that's right.
right? We have to learn to listen, and
Yes,
and and that listening, right? Is a very strong art. Sensei said that it's listening is an art,
yes, it is.
becoming intuitive, right? Having
Hmm.
that intuitive mind.
Hmm.
We don't have to hate anybody. We have to first learn to love ourselves. That's what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us, right?
That's right. That's right.
And when you love yourself, and you start to do things for yourself, right? You're gonna make your stuff plush,
That's right.
right?
That's right.
You're gonna drive the nicest cars and all of that good stuff.
That's right.
The materialistic things is not good if you don't really understand what fortification of all those things around you,
Right.
So of course I have to build myself before I can help anybody else. But you have
That's
to
right.
start,
That's right.
right? The journey of 1,000 miles begins with what? First
The
step.
first step. That's right. That's right. That's right.
You see? So, and I believe that that first step, enter your dojos. Find a teacher that's going to help teach you. I remember one of my good friends and mentors, Sifu Tarif Ghazi. He said this
Mm,
to me years ago. He said, you know, Khaliq, when you look for, you know, in the martial arts, there's three things that you got to look for.
mm,
He said the first thing you look for is a teacher you can learn from, because if you can't learn from him, you'll leave, right?
mm,
If you find a school that fits your character and spirit, because if it doesn't fit your character and spirit, you'll wander and leave.
mm.
And find a
That's right.
teacher who has good moral character, because you take on the spirit and character of your teacher,
Mm,
right? So Sensei Duncan was great in terms of character building. He was
mm.
great in terms of how to, you know, make you accountable. We have to become accountable for what we do, for what we teach, how we teach it, and how we disseminate that information of deadly force, right?
Yes.
Because you got to remember, when you know what are the laws against deadly force, you know,
Mm.
what is deadly force, and we got to know those types of things. You
Yes,
know,
sir.
I remember, I remember the first time I said I'm not going to teach children edge weapons.
Mm.
I saw a demonstration one time, and they were teaching the children uh, how to cut with a wood knife. I was disturbed. I was
Mm,
looking at the parents who was watching this for the first time. They were mortified,
mm.
right? There are some harsh realities, but you have to build a relationship with the families,
Right.
and those are things that you have to tell them, that these are the harsh realities of the world, before you start going and just showing that sort of stuff. When
Yes, sir.
I took a friend of mine years ago. His name was Sung Feature.
Mm.
Mr. Feature now works in the banking industry, and at that time I brought him with me to view a class. He was terrified, man. He saw. He
Mm.
said, "I never seen anything like that. They cutting. They actually cutting with the knife down the neck. They stab. You know the way we think, man. The way you train is the way you fight, right? So
Exactly.
yeah, but you know, but everybody does. Everybody doesn't process it the same way. So you're laughing at me.
That's
I
the
still
truth.
train like that, man. I haven't
I
changed too
know.
much.
I
Yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah.
So
You know,
you bring
but
the
you
heat.
know, that's right. You know, but you know, you build them to those points. I
Yes.
always say that again. If a person, um, you know, comes to my school, you're gonna meet some realities. You're gonna meet some tough training.
Yes, sir.
I'm not there to hurt you, nor do I want to be hurt. I survived this,
Yeah.
right? You know, I lived, you know, a young age, 52 years old now. I've had many fights as a
Mm.
young man. You know, I've fought, I've done tournaments, and you know, I've you know, workshops and seminars. I was the I was the uke, or the we used to say, you the crash test dummy for
Crash,
the
crash, crash. Exactly.
day.
Exactly. Always want to be crash. But you learn when you
Yeah,
are okay. When you're okay, you learn. You learn the flow. You
you
learn to
learn.
flow.
Listen.
Yeah.
Master Kareem
Yeah.
said one day, he said, "Man, there's a lot of wisdom on the other side of that technique.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
yeah, a lot of wisdom. You
A
ain't
lot
gonna
of
know
wisdom.
anything until you get touched. That's right. You
That's
know,
true.
Dr. Powell used to say, each one teach one.
Each one
So
teach one.
you know, that's right. If you and I go, and you know, or even Master Mo's on here now, you know, we go up
Yeah.
together. You know,
Yeah.
we gonna touch each other. If you're under a grandmaster, who, you know, we're visiting, we touch each other. There's no big eyes, little U's. We work out,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
And we learn how to take that pain, you know, and to go. I have to say, man, you know, it's always interesting to me when a person comes into the dojo. Um, how we learn to lend ourselves. We have to
Yes.
learn to humble ourselves. We have
Yes.
to learn how to remove the self, right?
Yes.
My current instructor said one day, he said his sensei said you can have an arrow, a bow and arrow, and a target, a thousand arrows, and strike the target 1,000 times, hit it 1,000 times, but miss
Mm-hmm.
the self.
Mm.
You see,
Mm.
so
Yeah.
the martial arts is supposed to make you look at self. It's supposed to help
Yeah.
you build self. And so, when I'm going to teach you those lessons. That's what other grandmasters and masters always share when we have these conversations, and I'm able to sit at the table of some of them,
Yes.
and listen to what they say. They all say it. They say it differently, but they
Yeah.
say it. And I think that the dojos today need to be revisited. All of
Yeah.
them, right?
Yes.
Not just the MMA,
Right.
not just the Brazilian jiu-jitsu schools who became very
Right.
popular. I
Yes.
think the 52 block schools, the
Yeah.
other goju and karate and the taekwondo schools.
Yeah.
Fill them with patronize your black brothers and sisters. There's a lot of information. There's a lot of things to get there. Not just my school. I may not be the one for you, but there
That's
may
right.
be somebody out there for you, right? Just like you have, every black church, everybody's not going to like the music in there, right? Everybody
That's
not
right.
going to like the singing in there.
That's
Everybody
right.
not going to like the mosque or what mosque you go to. Everybody don't like the same things. But when you go in there and you find the thing that fits you, you got capoeira, you got
Yeah.
beautiful arts in our community. You
Yeah.
got Juneteenth. I remember a few years ago, Miss Brenda was hosting right up, I think it was the Nick's bookstore right there on Fulton Street.
Oh yeah. You.
Um,
Nicholas.
Nicholas, right? So
Right.
Nicholas Bookstore, there's a park right there, and we were doing the Juneteenth celebration in that park. And
Right.
sister asked me um,
Prayer time.
to, yeah, prayer time, prayer. Um, she asked me to come and do a martial arts demonstration,
Yes.
and it was there was dance and there was other
Yes.
things, but when she included me in there, I thought that I was out of place. I had so many people come over to me
They
that
love
was that really loved what we did. And I just had a few children and a couple of people there with me that day, but I remember getting some phone calls, right? And some of them were older people, but they wanted to at least just lose weight,
you.
right?
Right.
They wanted to learn how to at least preserve themselves, right?
Yeah.
So self-preservation also means health,
Yeah.
right? Eating right,
That's
right?
right.
Because many of us we get older, we put on weight, we stop. Sometimes we have the answers, we just forget to use them.
To
Sometimes
you.
we just want to be, find a way back, right? Get that
That's right.
jump start again. You
That's
know,
right.
the
That's right.
martial arts dojos have a lot of those answers. They don't have
Yeah.
all of them, but you find credible people, find good people, righteous people, and they can help steer you the right way. That's what I believe.
Well, uh, Kyoshi, I want to thank you very much for being a part of this journey. I want to play the commercial before I get you off of here, but I want to make
Oh,
sure
sure.
everybody show the love to your website. Of course, you see the website up there, www.makoto-kan.webs.com. Also, hit him up on
Yeah,
Facebook because he has a nice Facebook page that he puts up a lot of stuff on. Makoto Kan
yeah,
Warrior Arts. His IG is Khaliq A. Lewis. And of course, his number is 347 554 7731. That's 347 554 7731. Consultation information, especially for youths. You might have a troublesome youth going through some stuff. I had a session with somebody that actually really, wow, Ronald Duncan. Son is on. Hey, Ron Duncan Jr.
Oh, good.
What's up, my
Us.
brother? Us.
Haji, how you
I
doing, sir?
see. Okay,
Yes.
I gotta put him. I gotta put what he just put up there. He just put up. He said, "My brother, I'm so proud of you. Your star is brilliant. Peace and blessings." Oh man, what's
Yes,
up?
yes,
Oh,
yes, beautiful. Yes, sir. Us.
always good to see them brothers. Oh man. Oh
Yes,
man.
yes, sir. He
Oh
just he just had a birthday, so
yes.
everybody
Happy
wish
belated.
Hanshi a happy birthday. Yes.
Love, happy solar return. How's
Uh,
she? Happy
yeah,
solar
yeah.
return.
I
And
just
so
I had a memory. I'm sorry, I had a memory. A
yeah.
few years ago, he came to Staten Island and Master Tom Curry's event.
Mm.
And no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That was that Master Curry. Yeah, it was Master Curry's event, and
Okay.
I had the honor of ukiing for him there, and I had the honor of ukiing for him at Grandmaster Bill School some years ago as well.
Yes, yes,
And
yes.
man, he's a tremendous martial artist and a great mentor and brother to me. God
Yes.
bless you, Hansi.
And his brother. So say salute to his
And his
brother,
brother.
Greg.
Oh, well,
Hunchy
obviously,
Greg.
you
You gotta
know,
give Greg.
it's Hansi Greg.
Yes,
But both of them are amazing
hey,
men. You know, I would
yes,
just
they are.
mention him because I just saw his name there.
I
So.
know he's up there. So before we move, like I said, please support the brothers, support love. Even if you want all over the phone consultation, like Master Duncan used to say, he said it to me over the phone. He used to say, "Yo, Simon, make sure you respect the weapon." He said
That's
just
right.
like that.
That's right.
The voice,
That's
and the
right.
mind is one of the weapons. Your hands are
That's
one of the
right.
weapons, and anything connected to your body, whether it's a pen, whether it's a rolled up magazine, is, I mean, this
That's right.
mouse in my hand is a weapon. So it's
That's
whatever
right.
you touch is a weapon. And
That's
then
right.
Dr.
That's
Powell
right.
says, if you touch me, I got you. I have you. If you touch
Yeah,
me,
that's right.
don't touch me. Don't-
Hey, I saw a T-shirt that said on the front of it jujitsu.
yeah.
If you want a lesson in jujitsu, no,
Yeah.
yeah, say want to learn jujitsu. On the back of it said, "Touch me, your first lesson is free."
Even give you. I see that. Yes, I see. Yeah, Hanshi, Ronald just said thank you. Ron Duncan just said, Ron
Oh
Duncan
yes,
Jr.
sir.
said
Yes,
thank you.
sir.
So thank you, Baba. Thank you all the time, man, for being who you are. I've been watching you for years, brother. Let me
Yes,
line
sir.
up this commercial here, and you can describe it because I see some great people on it. Hold on, let me line up this commercial for us, brother. Make sure we on here. Add to the stream. I'm gonna line up this commercial because I wanted people to see the commercial because some people like Natalia, who I invited to the class, and people are in it, you know. So I'm
Yes.
glad, I'm glad. Hold on, let me just line up this commercial and make sure we. Can you see the screen? You can see the other screen, Baba. You can see the other screen.
I can see it, but you can't. Yeah, I can see it, but you need to bring it closer to the.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring it up right
The
now.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring it up right now.
Yes,
Hold
sir.
on one
Yes, sir.
second. If I can, now it's starting to freeze. I don't believe this. Now it want to freeze. Now you want to freeze, huh?
It's all right.
This technology is all right.
It's all right.
So it's trying to I might have to, let me see what I'm gonna do here. Yeah,
We're getting ready to. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
yeah. Okay, here it goes. Here it goes. Let me see. It's moving slow. Can you see it now? It should be coming up right now. Let's play the commercial here, and it says play, and let's do it. Let me see. It should be coming up right now. Be patient, family. We're just gonna bring up this commercial. I just want people to see this commercial of Makoto Kan Warrior Arts, and if it will come up. But now technology wants to play around with me, and it was playing before. It was playing much earlier when I was testing it out. So I don't know what happened now. This thing
That's
here,
all right.
boy. Yeah, I know we're in
Yeah,
a retrograde season, so I gotta make sure. Let me see
that's
what's
right.
going on here. All right, so if anything, I'll try to definitely, let me. It might come up while we. Hold on a second. Let me see. Let me get back into. It might come up in a few. It's look like it's gonna come up on its own time. I guess that's what they're gonna do. Here we go. But it's all right. We could.
It's
What you
okay. It's
what you
okay.
want to
Well,
talk
they can go to the site. They can see the commercial up there.
about? Right.
If they can't see it here, again, you know, I would say, I had a great history with Sensei Duncan. He used to always say to me, "You're making history, son."
Mm,
And you never realize what what's being said until you have moments like this when we're
right. Right.
walking in history and we're
Yes. Right.
able to be a part of those voices of today.
Yes.
I just say, look up Duncan Martial Arts in New
Yes.
Jersey. Hanshi Greg, Hanshi Ron, they're still teaching live and well. So Duncan Martial Arts is alive and well. Of course, you have many masters of different disciplines right here in New York in the North Jersey region. You have Connecticut as well, and of course other schools in Pennsylvania. Again, I say come to the martial arts. Teach your children the discipline, right?
Right.
And
Yeah.
if you're not able to do it, give it to them. The
Right.
gift of the martial arts is the gift of health, the gift of wealth, and the gift of strength and honor is in there. We
Yes.
can't deny our children those things, right?
That's
Because
right.
we physically aren't going to be here, but those legacies are going to always live on. And
That's right.
so, we have to have those things passed on. I remember sharing a dream with you about being visited by Dr. Powell,
Yes.
and
Yes.
I was sitting in a locker room, and I could hear all of the masters. I mean, they were masters that had passed on, but I didn't realize it because I'm dreaming, and it was like I was my back was to them. I can hear them hitting the mat, like they was
Right.
slapping out. We call it slapping out.
Mm-hmm.
And I was facing the locker rooms, and somebody tapped me on the leg. I looked, and it was a young Moses Powell, and
Mm.
I was shocked. And I was like, "Wow!" I said, "Doc." He said, "Yes, it's me, Moses Powell. How you doing?" And he tapped me on the leg. He had this big, beautiful smile, and he says, "You look good out there, but don't forget the babies. The
Mm.
babies
Yes.
got to train,
That's right.
right?
That's right. Yes,
It's
sir.
our duty to teach our children, right, and help strengthen them, help with this bullying. Cyberbullying is just as bad as being bullied physically. But the difference with cyberbullying, you can just press the button. I don't have to stay there. That's right.
Yeah, how she say
Yes,
you
sir.
definitely making history. Also, this book
Yes,
was
sir.
definitely historical. The Master Duncan is in there. I got this from Master Khaliq himself. I got this from him
Yes.
himself at the Wesley Snipes thing in 98, 90, around that time I was there.
98.
Yeah, 98. I was
Yes.
there.
I,
So,
I I still have my book. I still have my copy in there. I'm gonna tell you something. You guys gonna laugh. When I purchased that book, I read the first two people on the book was Dr. Powell and Grandmaster Duncan. They were the
yeah,
first two, and then I think you have Master Cofield afterwards, and then you have a
yes.
few other people. And I would read them constantly because I was saying to myself, one day I want to be in these books like them.
Hmm.
Never to equalize myself, but because I was touched by the legacies of these men. And so, I just I saw Timac. I got a chance to meet him
Yeah, me too.
only once. Yeah, he very nice brother,
Yeah.
very mild man. He was conducting business. There you go. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I can get up. I can get up and go get mine too.
I know, and Dr. Powell was right there. Of course, we had Dr. Powell was right in this book. Man, it's so exciting because I was sitting right next to him, Master LePuppet
Uh-huh.
and Cofield
Yes.
at the Wesley Snipes thing. I was sitting right next to all of them, right there with
Beautiful.
Chris Muhammad. All of us was there.
Yes.
There's Cofield right
Wow.
there, Master Cofield.
Yeah, that's right. So I knew the order. I knew the order by memory. I used to
Yeah,
I used to
you
remember
had
it
it.
all the
You got it.
time.
Yes, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man,
We
that.
was in fact Hanshi Greg,
Uh,
and myself were I think it was either January or November. I can't remember. We were at a function where they were doing passing the torch, the Black Dragon,
right.
and I got an opportunity to. Well, I met him once before. Was Grandmaster Ron Van Cleef, and
Yeah,
to see my idols and all
yeah,
in one place, and being amongst them was just an honor for me. And so, as you're talking about sitting next to some of these great giants,
yeah,
and being amongst them, I'm like, man, this is a young boy's dream come true. And even if it's just for a moment, if I got a photograph with them, and it was awesome. I get a chance to train with the Duncan masters. I never got a chance to train with the other brothers, but it's always nice to get. We're Facebook friends, and sometimes he sends me messages of encouragement as well. So it's always a wonderful thing just to see them in those books like that. So hopefully, as I continue on, as Hanshi Greg just mentioned, make history. I'm going to do my best to do the best I can. I remember Sensei Duncan said to me, "I'm going to give you a blank page, and what you write on there uh, is going to tell your story." And I always try to remember to have the best story. He told me to write the best story, and someone will tell your story as they read it for you. So as you were reading the bio of my bio earlier, sometimes you forget how much stuff you've done because you're just walking through life.
Exactly.
Even as I talk to you, you have a very
Oh,
interesting
oh,
history in life yourself, being in a radio station and all
yeah.
kind of stuff like that, and writing books and doing
Well,
reggae music.
and it was and Master Duncan was like the first I brought to WWRL, which was the oldest black formatted radio stations.
Which is why I brought that up.
Yeah, I brought him actually to the Museum of Radio and Television to do an interview with me on the station because we were celebrating a milestone in WWRL 1600, and we brought him there. And I had my producer who's into kung fu and all that stuff. But when he seen Master Duncan, because Master Duncan used to go to Trinidad all the time, and
Right.
that was just it was just love to just bring him there and
Yeah.
hear him speak, and hear him speak about racism in martial arts back in the day. He
Yes.
always
Mm-hmm.
he told me about that because I said, Baba, I said, Master, I want to talk about that. I want to do that. And he did. We went into it. I mean, he went in. I mean, he went in with no remorse. And,
Yes. Well,
and yeah,
he detested
yes,
racism,
yes, yes.
and he shared with us, and I know with me on many occasions
Mm-hmm.
of his entry when he was in Portsmouth, Virginia, as a young Marine, and
Mm-hmm.
he said, I walked into an all-white martial arts school, dropped my bag, and walked through the front door. I wasn't going to go through no back door.
Mm-hmm.
And he said his teacher at that time, Ernie Cates, went down the street and got some curtains, put them up. He said he had an integrated dojo that day. And,
Mm-hmm.
and he said that was the way he lived his life. Sensei didn't back down. You know, he wasn't ashamed of being black.
That's right.
He was black and he was proud and he respected, but he respected everybody.
That's
And
right.
and that's one of the things that we all do. You have to demand respect,
That's right.
right? And when you command respect, right, you don't necessarily have to demand it. You command it. You
That's right.
own it.
That's
you
right.
know and so I try to live my life that I try to be as mild mannered. I'm no punk.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's what I tell people.
you know I'm as peaceful as I have to be, you know what I mean? So sensei was that sort of man. He commanded that respect,
Yes, sir.
and you gave it to him, and if he
Yes,
forgot where he was, you were put back in that place very, very
that's right.
simply.
And
um
and
you
that's why I
know
wanted to do that lecture with him. Remember in Brooklyn that we did, and y'all did a demo in front of him. That
Oh, that, and again, that was an awesome day. I didn't expect to do the demonstration. I was there to assist
yeah,
him and Hanshi Greg and Hanshi Ron that day.
yeah.
I don't know if Hanshi Ron made it out that day, but I remember
No,
Hanshi
he didn't
Greg
make
was
it. He
there,
didn't make it.
and yeah, Hanshi Ron didn't make it. But I remember Hanshi Greg
He was there.
wanted me to go up and do the demonstration. So me and a couple of other students of mine was honored to be
And,
up on that stage at your event.
and you know what's so funny? It had to change the date because of a major hurricane. So I knew a lot of people would have came to the first one, but because of this major hurricane that took place like a
Yes.
week or two before, we had to change the date so quickly. As a matter of fact, I have the picture of the flyer with him right here on my altar because I have him on my altar of respect with along
Yes.
with
Oh
Dr.
yeah, I have one
Powell,
up.
Dr. Khalid, Muhammad, Dr. Sabi, all of them is on this altar of respect and honor. So
Yeah.
if anytime I get in any kind of trouble, those are the spirits I call on when it's time to
I hear
get
you.
into any
I hear
fights. Some good
you. Yes,
spirits,
sir.
some great spirits. Dr. Powell,
Call the
amen.
strength of the ancients.
Those are the
I
strength,
hear
man.
you.
Because I remember brother Professor Hakeem from the school at the
Yes.
7th grade. He said he had
Yes.
a fight in I think in the train station, but with a big dude. But all he could
Mhm.
remember is his teachers surrounding him, and he put this
Yes.
256-foot dude down to the floor. You know how big he is. He's
Yeah.
not that
Yeah.
tall.
That's right.
He put him down.
That's
He
right.
just remembered all that Doc and everybody taught him one time, and he just took this
Yes. Yeah.
guy down.
And listen, I get an opportunity to be with my brother. On certain days we train out of the same school. He
Yes,
invited me to be partners with him in his school, and so I'm there
yes,
training on alternate days as him. But for such a small, uh, physically small man,
yes,
he has a lot of power, a lot of strength, and again a lot of wisdom. Right?
right.
Hence 720-degree wisdom.
Yes, the great, so he's the great. Yeah,
Jujitsu,
that's
right?
right.
And
That's
so,
right.
yeah. So he's a very knowledgeable person. Again, I would say
Yeah.
training is one of the things that Sensei he respected. I have one requirement: students come, you know, just wherever you go, commit,
Mm,
right? Train, right? Don't try to interject who you are. Learn, right? It's important. We have two ears and one mouth. So when
mm,
we go to the dojos, we should listen twice as much as we speak. Because what is a sensei? A sensei really means one who's going out front,
mhm,
right?
mhm.
That's the actual meaning, person who's out front,
Right.
right? Some people just say teacher, but it's deeper than that, right?
Mhm,
One who's gone before, right? So that is the definition of
mhm.
someone who can lead you,
Yes.
leader.
Right.
You
Right.
see,
Right.
and that person is to take you. So us as senseis and whatever other accolades, grandmaster, Kyoshi,
Mhm.
Hanshi, whatever
Right.
those things is one title that transcends all of them, and that is sensei, because
Yes.
that's what they are. So when we're all in one room and that person is teaching, is only really one teacher,
Right.
and that master is the master who gave it to all of us, right? So you have the teachers of teachers, right?
Yes.
Sensei Duncan was that for us.
Yes, he was.
And so when we honor them by what we do on the floor, we always give courtesy to the
Yes.
masters that come before us after we give our courtesy to the
That's right.
grand architect of the universe. We
That's
should
right.
always remember where this comes from. It's
Yeah.
never about us, because it was here before us. We're responsible for while it's in our hands, and it's going to be, hopefully it gets left in the hands of somebody great behind us. Yes, sir.
Well, brother, thank you very much for being a part again. I wanted to
Thank you.
encourage everybody to really show our brother love, our one of our teachers, one of a master himself in his own right, and what he does and how he does, Kyoshi, and he does what he does, and I remember, I'm so happy with your graduation, and now you keep on excelling. You keep on
Yes, sir.
excelling. And
Yes, sir.
we just want to make sure I give you a well-deserved round of applause here. You got to make sure you got the applause. From all these crowd. I pay
Thank
them
you.
all the time. I pay this crowd. It's a big crowd. I got to pay them because they clapping for me. But
Yeah, pay the crowd. All right.
I got to pay the crowd. Hey,
Amen. Amen
remember
to
the
that.
messenger
Yes,
used to
sir.
pay people to come to the temple. I pay
Yeah,
people
I
to clap.
pay people to come on.
Oh man, but
Oh my
brother,
goodness.
rest well, brother. Enjoy your night, man, and thank you very much, us to you and the
Us.
family and everybody,
Yes,
and
sir.
thank you very much for being who you are and being so genuine, and thank everybody that tuned in, especially Hanshi, Ron Duncan Jr. for coming
Yes.
in, and of course Master Mo coming in on Facebook, and his
Yes.
wife coming on Facebook
Yes.
also, and everybody that came, and Dr. Moses Powell's daughter came on, which was
Oh
powerful.
man. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one of
Yes,
them,
sir.
so thank you
Yes.
very much, brother, Master Khaliq. Thank you very much all the time, brother.
Thank you so much. God bless. And listen, everybody, continue to train. Us.
Us. Please, family, remember to support our dear brother. Yes, Kyoshi Khaleeq Lewis for info and consultation for the youths and adults. Please give them a call. Give him a call at 347 554-7731. And don't forget to hit him up, email him at Makoto Kan Martial Arts at gmail.com. That's Makoto Kan Martial Arts at gmail.com. And his website, beautiful website. Go read all the accolades, because I couldn't even read it all. It was so long. I had to just cut it down and chop it up a little, but he gives you all the inductions that he had in there, all the inductions of all that. You gotta give people their roses while they're still alive, man. And that's that's why I read the bio. Give them roses, and that's why I did this interview. Give people him, and that's why I interviewed Master Duncan back in his day. That's why I interviewed Professor Dr. Powell back in his day, to give them, and I interviewed GM Anthony and Professor Bill before, to give them their accolades while they're alive and give them their roses while they're alive, just like all of us wish to have our roses given to us. Go to the website, www.makoto-kan.webs.com, and don't forget, hit them up on the FB public page. That's Makoto Kan Warriors Arts. IG is at Khaleeq A. Lewis. Hit them up. Show that love to him, and appreciate him, and appreciate the wisdom he dropped, especially for the youths right now, the youths that really need it. Give guidance. Let these brothers that are reputable. I told people, I don't say the word mentor because that comes from a Greek and Roman freakish history. What mentor used to do, the mentors used to actually have sex with young boys and then give them knowledge. But if we go to Ethiopia, the Ethiopian word jejna means respectable and accountable elder or guide that teaches. That's what jejna from the Ethiopian word. I stopped using that word mentor a long time ago. So people, jejnas like our beloved Khaliq and all the rest of the great martial artists that we mentioned, from, of course, Ali, and from, of course, Hanshi Greg and Hanshi Ronald and Jr., and all the great ones from Dr. Moses Powell, Professor Bill. Of course, let's say the sisters too. We got to big up the sisters too. All the beautiful sisters that's been training and teaching us and helping us out there. So this is a balanced family. If we do it well, this is a balanced family. So I love what he did. I love what he's doing. I respect what he's doing. That's why we promoting and we keeping things going. Once again, want to thank him and the family. And I got to keep it moving. I got more stuff to promote here before. And let me see what promotions I'm going to get out of here before we click off here. Let me see. I got some promotions to get rid of and of course make happen. Just want to remind everybody that the next coming people that's coming up next on King Simon Presents is on Sunday, June the 21st. We have a financial advisor coming in, Miss Veronica Martin. She's also a medical massage therapist. She's coming in live and direct. And we want to make sure we bring in, June 24th, that's another to be announced. And on June the 28th, we have Nusku Sanders. Nusku Sanders is coming in. Sanders is coming in. Mr. Sanders is coming in. He's one of the millennial judges. He's one of the millennial judges, one of those accountable young people that's doing great work and doing great things. Don't forget, on Wednesday, July the 1st, we have Master Yao, the tantric healer and author of these books. Very good book, Master of the Masculine, Awakening of the Master Masculine, and Awakening of the Master Feminine. We have Master Yao coming in. Master Yao Morris is coming in. So believe me, you want to see this. This is all about tantric healing. And of course, we're going to big up his classes. And don't forget, on Sunday, July the 5th, we have a master cardologist, a master person that deals with cryptocurrency. And she owns her own website, Guap Coin. Make sure you go to the Guap Coin and check out Aquarius Maximus. She is the foremost leader in cryptocurrency right now. That sister is doing wonderful work. And also, she's a cardologist. She breaks down those cards and break down those numbers. Powerful. So enough respect to her. I have her coming in July the 5th. On Wednesday, July 8th, we have Shahrazad Ali, Sister Shahrazad Ali. Let's put some respect to that name. Sister Shahrazad Ali is coming in on July the 8th. Woo! Man, that's going to be powerful. A lot of people waiting for Sister Shahrazad. So, woo, Lord, when she come in, she going to come in with the fire. So, big up to Sister Shahrazad that's coming in. Okay, so Get that out of the way now. Let's see. Let's make sure we do this promotion now. Next promotion that we got coming up. Don't forget, if you want 10% off all women products and all healing products for men and women, make sure you go to this natural gynecologist, but also she has great products, healing products for men too, at www. Okay, thank you very much. www.pedalwise.com. That's www.pedalwise.com. You can save 10% with the coupon code, which is my coupon code directed to me, is King2020. That's King 2020 at www.pedalwise.com. She got some great products on there, especially for the sisters, especially if you're going through fibroid, if you're recovering from tumors and all that kind of stuff, breast problems, all that kind of stuff. This is the place to go and get that 10% off. Save to 10% right now and just tell them King Simon, hit up that coupon code. That's King 2020. So big up to her all the time. Enough respect to her. Also up next, Janelle Lewis. Big up to Janelle Lewis. Make sure you show that love. She's a real estate salesperson, licensed real estate salesperson. You want an apartment, you want a room, you want an Airbnb, you want a house throughout any part of New York City or the tri-state area. Contact Janelle Lewis. She can give you the hookup, give you the connection, and tell her you heard it right here on King Simon Productions or King Simon Presents. 347-866 1153. That's 347-866-1153. Big up to Janelle all the time. Known her for 15 years, so she's doing great work. Also, Master Yao got something coming up. Master Yao got something coming up. You want to be there. Woo, the path to high level orgasms. Woo-wee. Man, and this is about manifestation. This ain't about no limitation. This is about manifestation through sexual understanding and how to do it right. Master Yao is going to be doing it on July the 23rd. It's a whole course, includes 7 sessions attended at the Metro Atlanta area, and they're going to be live streaming the broadcast. Instructor Master Yao, Tantric Extraordinaire. That's what he calls himself, the Tantric Extraordinaire. Also, he's going to include semen retention. I might see if I can get out there, man. You know, I've been studying this for a while. I'm getting it all down packed. Make sure you go to gti.wildapricot.org/stores. That's gti.wildapricot.org/stores. This is the great Master Yao himself, and he will be on with me on Wednesday, July the 1st. Master Yao will be on with me at July the 1st. So all you beautiful ladies out there, woo, you know I'm bringing some handsome men for y'all sisters to understand. We just had Master Khaliq. Now we have one of our Master Yao, the Tantric healer himself, coming in. So, you know, this distinguished brother, he's going to be coming in on July 1st. So y'all get ready for that. Woo, you know, this is what we do over here. Now, this other handsome brother, if you want to do a numerovation session with me, please text me your full name, date of birth to 347-496-1022. Remember, I don't do readings. I do consultations and advisory through the numbers. Remember, using your numbers connected to your birthday and your name. Remember, because this is applied mathematics on an esoteric level. So if you learn how to apply these numbers, it can guide you and take you to the next level. And please subscribe to King Simon Presents. Don't forget the next book is coming out soon. And of course, don't forget, this is my book, Numbers Are Simple, People Are Complicated, available on Amazon and Kindle. Numbers are simple, people are complicated. That's right. Numbers 1 + 1 = 2. But if you have 2 number ones in your household and they acting crazy and one wants to act sane, it ain't going to work. That's just how it's going to work. You know what I'm saying? And of course, this is my book called No Promotion is Bad Promotion and All Publicity is Good Publicity. A great motivational book on how to motivate yourself to move into promotion, production on multiple levels. And then this is my other numerology book on health. Numbers are simple. Our children's health is important. So this is children of all kinds. So if you're a child of God, a children of Allah, whatever you might call yourself, child of Ra or Amen, guess what? This book is for you also. Children health is important. So that it recognizes the numbers and the possible ailments that can be attracted to you because of the certain numbers that you have connected from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right. And once again, please subscribe YouTube and press that bell. subscribe and press that bell, family, to get notified of all the great people that we're bringing on right here. And I hope to have one of the Duncan brothers on here one time too, from the Ways of the Wind, the Duncan family martial arts. I'm going to see if I can give them a call or hit them up on Facebook, and definitely Master Mo. Got to get Master Mo. I've seen him in Black Belt magazine, and of course he's doing the 52. Definitely got to get Master Mo up here. That's my boy, man. He born February 10th. I'm born February 1st. His wife born January 23rd. So we in the building as Aquarian energy. So we know what that's all about. So as we continue, as we proceed to give you what you need, just remember, please like, share, subscribe, and remember, go to my Patreon. My Patreon channel is King Simon Production. That's the Patreon, and the website is kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com or www.numbersaresimple.com. That is also my website. And remember, if you want to pre-order my book, guess what? Now you can pre-order my new book called Numerovation for Mental Stability. It's needed in the society. Numerovation for Mental Stability will be out between August and September. So I'm doing the pre-orders right now. Price is only $40.40, and all is included. Of course, shipping and handling is included in the price. $40.40. I'm keeping in that energy of the number 4 for a reason. It's all mental. It's all mental. It's mental vibration, taking it to the high levels of the mental vibration. So you can do it through www.paypal.me/the-numerovator. That's paypal.me/the-numerovator. Please include full name and mailing address in the PayPal notes section so I can mail it out to you when the books come in. Please include your mailing address in the PayPal notes section so I can mail it out to you when it comes in. I think I'm going to only have 100 solid books, and then I'm going to just forward it to Amazon and Kindle. Then you could order from there. So if I have 100 solid books, that means I'll be signing all 100 of them. And then, but after that, you're going to have to get it from Amazon and Kindle. Numerovation for Mental Stability. All right. Okay. I'm so glad we had this time together just to have a laugh and speak some stuff. I'm so glad that Master Khaleeq came through and had a good time. Thank you very much for bringing his energy, his vibe, we definitely going to be making history in what we do. And this is now for the history books. Once again, make sure you go to his website. Make sure you give him a call. Make sure you hit him up on Facebook, Instagram. Make sure you call him for at least consultation, 347-554-7731. That's 347-554-7731. Take care of yourself. Take care of your health. We're gonna leave with my song, One Life to Live. We only have one life to live, which I'm turning into a children's book, which I'm so honored. You know, who inspired me to turn my books into children's book is this family right here, and that's Bob Marley family. I just got this book in the mail, Every Little Thing, by Bob Marley's daughter, Cedella Marley, and he inspired to turn my book into a children's book. I love the colors in this book. I love the song. It's the whole song from one of Bob Marley's albums, and everything going to be all right. Every little thing. People don't worry about a thing, because every little thing is going to be all right. This book here, go get it. It's on Amazon Kindle. They got one called One Love. Also, Bob Marley's family puts this out. It's all going back to Bob Marley's family and his legacy. So enough respect to Bob, who I've worked with his children before. I've worked with the Marley children and Rita Marley. I've worked with Rita Marley before. It's in my book. No promotion is bad promotion. It's in my book. You'll see the pictures and the flyers and all that stuff. I've worked with the Marley family. I never got to meet Bob Marley, so it is what it is. So have a great day, afternoon, or evening, wherever you're tuning in. I love you. I respect you. And like Marcus Mosiah Garvey says, up you mighty nation, you could accomplish what you will. One love, one aim, and one destiny. Let's keep that clapping going. Let's keep the 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 clapping going, baby. Where's the clapping at? Where my clapping at? Where my clapping at? There you go. There you go. There you go. All right, good. Let me close out and let's play this music and we out of here. You know what I'm saying? All right, all right. Y'all be careful out there. Stay at peace. One love. We only have one life to live. We only have one life to live. We only And we gotta live it. Don't even strive on negative vibes. Cause you won't make it, no matter what they say. You should always try to live a positive life anyway. We only have one life to live, and we gotta live it. Don't even strive on negative vibes. Cause you won't make it, no matter what they say. We should always try to live a positive life anyway. We all know time is running out every day. The people they know that life is not a game that we play. If you're not sure about this test, I want the whole world to confess that we all should try to live our life the best way that we can. So I know we only have one life to live, and we gotta live it. Don't even strive on negative vibes, cause you won't make it, no matter what they say. You should always try to live a positive life anyway. Oh,